Okay, this video is just gonna be a vlog of me doing different things, talking about different things. Gonna work on my generator a little bit, change the oil, talk about the generator, how well it's done, that little bitty one, that little China made one. Talk about the beast. But I want to start up here first. Some guy stopped by the other day and just dropped this off and said, here you go, you can have it. It's a 19 horsepower Briggs & Stratton. I took it apart, so it was fully assembled when I got it. So you can see maybe right there, 19 horse, whoop, I dropped it. 19 horsepower right there. It's got an oil pump on it, so it's pressurized system, which is fantastic. And he says it's shot, there's something no good. Well, I can turn it by hand, so it can't be no good. It's gotta be okay. If you can turn it, it's savable. So I hooked up the jumper cables to this yesterday. Put the negative here on the crankcase, put the positive on the starter, and it turned. And I, of course, put starting fluid in the carburetor, and it popped, poof. So it had spark. I had my little spark plug tester on it. So it has the capability of running. But the problem is it's very hard to turn. The starter would turn it, and then it would stop and kind of get past it. So I brought the beast up here because it has a good charging system. Let's put it that way. And I hooked it up to see if it would give it any more power, and it didn't. The beast gives 15 amps of alternator power. Best way to put it. And it still wouldn't turn it enough to get it started. So I thought, well, I'm going to check the overhead valves first. So I took the valve cover off, and I checked the gap on the valves, and they were pretty much fine. There wasn't nothing wrong with them. One of them was out of spec by just a couple thousandths. So I adjusted that one, put it back together. I still got to put a seal on it, and it still wouldn't do it. So that tells me the compression relief on the camshaft has broke. It's pretty typical for a Briggs. Now you can buy an aftermarket one and like 25 bucks for the whole package. The new gasket seal, because you're gonna have to take you turn it upside down, take this off, and then on inside is the camshaft. So you got to take all that off. For 20, there's this shaft seal, oil pump. They give you a part for the oil pump. I won't need it. So I decided, after reading the reviews and watching all the YouTube channels over all these years, that I don't want the aftermarket because you can get a bad one. I've kind of regretted that decision. I should have got it because I can return the camshaft if it's broke. I mean, it's sitting here. There's nothing. I don't have to put it back on a lawnmower. I can just see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll return it. So I should have bought it, but I didn't. I went ahead and got the OEM, and instead of 25 bucks, the camshaft by itself is $95. But everybody claims they do better than the aftermarket. Then I got the seal and the gasket. Each one of those were $8 each. So the other thing that's wrong with it, I took the carburetor off and it leaks bad. It actually had gas in the crankcase, so I bought another one of those. That was $16, and so I'll wait for the parts. Now, getting OEM parts, it may take a while, but I think I can get $300 out of this. So I spent 150, 100. Well, I guess it was 130 total after taxes and shipping and all that. If I can get 300 out of it, then I'm double my money. The other thing I could do is buy another lawnmower, or not buy, get a free lawnmower that doesn't have an engine on it. It has a blown engine. You see that on Marketplace all the time, free. And I put this on it. And so then I have $130 invested into a lawnmower, plus whatever maintenance that free one needed. And then I could sell the lawnmower for, for $400. This is 19 horsepower. This is bigger than my John Deere, so that's a pretty good size. Now, the one thing that I didn't get is the air filter cover is missing, and that was $45. And I decided I wasn't going to get that. I don't think I need it. I mean, it's just a cover to keep the rain off of it. So could be a mistake. 45 bucks, you know, that takes it up to $200 for the lawnmower. So a couple things I want to grab here out of the well house is my oil and my funnel. So we're gonna, first I want to talk about the beast. So yesterday, it rained pretty hard yesterday morning. So I wanted, and that's all I did. I haven't done that since I was a kid. I decided I just wanted to play on the beast. So I rode it around the yard. A huge mud puddle up there at the ditch. And I took it through the mud puddle. And it went right through. I mean, it spun its tires a little, but it never stopped. It didn't like spin and just stop. And I don't know, I went up here, tried to knock some branches, you know, some twigs down, saplings, whatever you want to call them, see if I can knock any of those down. It knocked them down. I just couldn't get it over it to cut them up with the lawnmower, the mower. It did a fantastic job, and I got thinking about it. The John Deere has tire chains on it, and it really helps me on this big hill. I can get good traction with it. But there's still things it can't do that this thing did. The John Deere would not have went through that mud puddle, and this just kind of paddle boated its way through it. And I took through the woods, and you can see I got it muddy. It really is nice. I like it a lot. It never loses power. The John Deere really struggles going up hills and different things. It's 17 horsepower. The Craftsman is 22 horsepower. It just has to work harder. So I think what I'm going to do, is I'll primarily use the John Deere just to cut the grass. I won't use it for the wagon anymore. And anytime I want to do any work, I'll just use the Craftsman. Of course, occasionally I might want to get through the yard quickly, because that's a 50-inch deck there. I think this one's 36 or 38. Maybe it's 42. I don't remember. But anyway, that's a bigger deck. The problem with the Craftsman, the only problem with the Craftsman, is it's so bouncy. It just rocks you to death. Where I guess since the John Deere is lower, it's got a lower center of gravity, it doesn't bounce and jar you quite as bad. So with the Craftsman, all I did was just slow down, and it took care of that bounciness. So I'm going to go over here to this generator, and we're going to work on it. You know, I got a lot of criticism when I bought this. It's almost 2 years old now. I think it's March or April, it'll be 2 years old. This is November. And I use these generators a lot, especially through the winter. So I think I've given it a good test run. It starts on the first pull. I've never had trouble with it. I overfilled the oil the other day, the time before last, I guess. And it died on me a few times. And then I just drained the oil out of it, and it ran fine. What happened is it was heating up, the oil would expand, and it just got too much pressure behind it. It just sips gas, and it's cheap. I think I got it for, I don't know, $2.99 or something. So it's a little noisier than the suitcase ones, you know, the Champion that I have, the two Champions. It's actually quite a bit noisier, I guess, but it's still not as noisy as a industrial strength generator. And this is an inverter. Now you can buy just a regular generator in this Power Smart setup, and it's cheaper, but it's really loud. I'm doing the wrong side. The oil is on this side. I was wondering why things weren't working out right. Now, I don't like the setup on how to get the cover off so you can change the oil, but minor inconvenience, really. I change it every, I think 50 hours is what I do is every 5 gallons of gas. Lost my screw down here. I change out the oil because that's about 50 hours. And now I haven't had to change it out this much over this summer since I upgraded the solar panels, what, 2 years ago now? Well, at the same time I bought this, I don't have to run the generator near as much throughout the summer. During the winter, the last few weeks, I've been running a lot more than I did through the summer, but still not running a terrible amount. It's better to do this without gas in it. And I don't fill the tank up anymore. What I do is I come down here about 7 o'clock at night. I put a quart of gasoline in it. And I let the batteries charge up for as long as that quart lasts. The generator dies. And that's all I need for electric on cloudy days. Now, there's this rumor going around on the internet saying that you shouldn't let the generator die from lack of gas because it'll hurt the generator portion. And they describe it, you know, how it's supposed to hurt it and all that. Well, I just think that's a myth. The instructions say to let it run out of gas. Generators usually do nothing but sit around. You use them in an emergency. So you want the gas out of it so that it doesn't degrade the carburetor. Now, maybe the industrial strength generator is different and you shouldn't do it, I don't know. But these, I've done it all. Well, the last one I had 8,000 hours on it and it ran fine until it got old. It's full. I've thought about not putting the screws back in many times because it snaps in and pretty hard to get off, but my OCD just doesn't allow that to happen. I gotta have it screwed in because it comes with screws. I already lost one and it should be right here somewhere, but I've never been able to find it. And this filter never gets dirty, so I don't clean it maybe every other time or so. I'll check it to see how it's doing. Yeah, it's fine. That's the air filter. They make it so it's really easy to get to the air filter. I'll put the cover back over it so the sun and the rain doesn't affect it. So if you click this up next box, it'll take you to a video that I was doing something in, so if I can inspire you to do your maintenance so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.